Okay, FM 101.7.
Wow. Na mamemre. Education wasem. Enra be pie de bokata no mu se Pascobi na se waye kefo supply ye tuaka ba ni nyina amba. Enra so na kwala ne share exams ase. Committee no na muni mu wasem bi e wo parliament.
Yo kwa me da se. Ana sa komo yi yedi bia kama. Ati etwa mu 2020. Ana ministry editor ye mem as parliamentary some public education. One better exam questions. Now they are not Quran. Now one they are prepared to help them in their exam. If you know Mukai and say you are proof. But one more toy, one more chairman Quran. Now you need Sikaduboa about editor. And the I think now me finally questions you to the Minister for Education. The first one was to find out how much government spent to procure about some 560,000 examination questions. For students now, almost what 2020. And the Minister back Parliament they spent slightly about 33 million Ghana cedis to procure those examination booklets. And the almost Emma Corano. The question about what I said, I need be 2021 year, and Koran better on so. Abaya and I just said, what better be Amosa. Then we are no say you 1 million. But I don't know what my far and said, 2020 and almost buy them. But 2021, I said they would spend 34.8 million to procure past examination questions and examiners report to distribute to the students. Maybe I proud besides one more talk with him. Not as they procure them from Kingdom Books and stationery, and now they procure the money, the past questions and examiners reports. At 78 Ghana cedis per unit. That was for this year. But last year the other also here it worked out to 59 Ghana cedis per unit. Now I'm going to say why the quantum increase in terms of price, because you are buying from the same company through sole sourcing 2 years in a row. When if you could have done this directly with or the saying week. And also, as far as they are concerned, it was Kingdom Books that could deliver the service.
Okay.
I na be 400 page. Hello. Oh. Book me saka bio. Na I be 400 page book. Aha. Na 78 Ghana cedis. Na ayi be 400 page book. And now, what's it? Mainly watching you, but they're doing you watching you because I buy a trucker. What matter? The idea, they need this and this and this. I'm going to share Sierra. Aye. Not in a school sitting in a 703 public senior schools. I don't know when you're mobile class for 2020. This is the question. This is the question I'm asking. 2020, the number. 2021. Ma yasi biko ne emom bi na anya bie. I don't say be anya bie. Because you tiaka. We are paid. And say you tiaka na wukwa wan kan cheme na me bisa question na wo be yi ano se mo tiaka. Na mo se mo di be man kwara na ma mo bobo mo ho. E ba ne dan na enye obi na enya abra ma sha social ase. Kwa me enya ona agaga. Ana say bi asapiti na obi ayebi. Because the understanding is that by now, these materials should have been with the students even before the commencement of the exam. Sure. You see, on what basis is it that they have started the exam and we are getting reports, and I can confirm, I can even mention schools. The whole of Papa is school by Kuku. Hey! Yes.
We have moved through NAGAT members in Northern Region, and I'm getting similar reports from some parts of the country. So why is it that some schools have received and others have not? Is it that you're getting in a fan talk? And I say, there was a teacher and one teacher. And I say, to keep to be separate and the archive, should be able to. These are questions that we ought to ask. And that is why I raise the concern. Because whether we like it or not, the material has been bought. That's a ton of Ghana physical and return. Young man putting Koran in some. Now they are buying quite time. Woman fancy and the normal pass here. When so, there was a service of water. And I can tell you an authority, as a minority, we have received clearance from our leadership that we can go ahead and file a private members motion for an investigation into the whole exercise of procuring and distribution of this past examination question. Because something is just not right. And now they are we look at you beer. What here? One can say, where did you be able to touch him? When I'm also move the top past questions among Quran. Education is good one. Any people like me, you can say past questions are not the panacea. But it's about the top matter. Why is it that those past questions have not been distributed to all the 723 public senior high schools as we speak now? What is the explanation? And these are legitimate questions. And I said here, someone who asks questions and asks for value for money and asks for accountability. Because 34.8 million, and this one. Remember that these same students are between 2020 and 2021. Yet we have come 68 million Ghana cedis. I got to pass questions, sir. You don't want to give say, if you don't make the cry yourself, if you don't make the cry yourself, elective textbook school was a year free. Schools need to what? Students may know, yes, sir, they use one elective textbook. So all of these other challenges, that's what I'm saying. What they are got to pass questions, sir. Why is it that the past questions are not in the hands of the students? For the reasons that you gave to justify, is part of all opposition from NAGAT, any various education. So, this is the issue at hand.
Asamba Kubia, yet, said training colleges, you know, you can say about Wi-Fi free. They say, yes, or Muntria, Minister, and so on.
Another issue of promise and fail, of deception. Answer about what you're 20. Near senior, Dr. Mahmoud Baumia, my senior, because of course, Sakasaka Primary, or Tamale, mention called Sakasaka Primary, or Tamale. Was also called Samuel Fraser University, or Burnaby, British Columbia, Canada. Also, I'm a PhD, into a senior. One on the debate, the government at that time had connected 80% of all public senior high schools to the internet, where they were going to enjoy free Wi-Fi. Now, he did this when he was launching the same free Wi-Fi program for our universities. And you can go and check. It is on the internet. It is well documented. And I can say, as part of government's policy, and yes, secondary schools, and also universities, and have benefited from the free Wi-Fi policy. But all the 46 teacher colleges of education, plus all the district directories of education, come tell you that we're all going to benefit from this program.
Did you?
And well and good. Letter, say, Minister, Edichum, Niamini Edichum from Jachi, say, was dropped to the colleges of education that the viewers are now more enjoying. One, they should pay for the installation. Two, arrangements should be made for them to take over the payment from now on. And three, the important woman enjoy that. Woman, the attorney said, next year, according to the letter, the funding for the provision of the free Wi-Fi to the colleges of education is being drawn from the free senior school account. And therefore, that is putting a burden on the free senior high school account, which will mean that Sikana ID 3 Wi-Fi, ama colleges no, the year free senior high school account no, and no ama the free senior high school no whole channel. I say you know here kai announcement here Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia eh. And yes, you nim say ebia school for na school kwara no ne koyire aban kete say won to school free Wi-Fi. And so who wants your mobile? Say we your facility am also ever benefit from. Now more benefit here. What's your mobile? Now we need to be use free. And you are not need to free senior high school account no more.
Now me bo Wi-Fi as students here use no. E ho ka ye say nko a.
So we let na so mo.
Adabi tell me bo. Pokura no mo betimi ni tekusu no. Aya chese. Oh,
very well. But we were maybe come on and say yeah, I will fra na we pay for making a check.
Mati.
So my position is first of all, no, with all due respect to my senior, he has deceived the colleges of education, the students and then Ghanaians. And two, given that ono bashe and ama kawina aba, is it fair to ask the colleges to pay for the installation, the outstanding cost, and to make preparations to take over the payment for something that you promised them to be free? I think same arrangements are university for enya free Wi-Fi free no. Now in secondary school for also enya free no. Yen to me and making the same arrangement to take care of the colleges of education.
Sir, amudi omanyini.
Omanyini anka yema omo allowance. It is part of the motivation according to government. That is so people can give them allowance.
Okay, FM.
We ought to be able to take care of all these debt. Rather than Rebecca said they should foot the bill. Fill the bill, no. Colleges of education almost confiscate everything. And I said, Rebecca said, woman, don't make answer. Is it that we are finding a backdoor way of taking back the allowance that we say we are giving them? Think I mean for the government should foot the cost to date, which is free. It's free. And then put in place arrangement to ensure that they continue to get it for free. That is what should be done. Because the day could do no. The 6 than 9. And it is no fault of the colleges, it is no fault of the students. So why should a promise made by none less a person than the vice president as part of government policy suddenly be truncated, and the Minister for Education is asking that the initial cost, the service cost, and the future of the program should all be borne by the colleges of education. And we ought to speak truth and to say it as plainly as it is. And you're fine. You don't do that.
Hey, Mami Musa, would you now be a lecturer at the University of Ghana? Strikey, baby, aqua baba bedrey. And I no cry and ra. Yes, you cry at Chawamo. Court cry, my woman cost. I then ya kwam fa so file wo case ba ye no o man file ya fa no 3000 enum ne ade de asasam yen kan say ne betwa.
Well, first of all, no, let me tell you emphatically, Utah Omudika. It is not because I'm a former lecturer and a former member of Utah, but as somebody who believes in fairness and equity and believes in the role of leadership to ensure that things are done properly for collective good, you know. Government has not handled this issue well at all. First of all, no, Utah would tell you that on the several occasions, you have meetings, you know, the caliber of personnel who have gone to represent government were low-level technocrats who never had the capacity to make decisions or make proposals that were binding. For whole 2 years, that this matter has been on the table. And UTAG was even magnanimous enough to let government know, say, if these issues or their issue of conditions of service was not addressed by the end of, or they say, 30th July, they will go on strike. They gave you notice, ample notice.
Okay, FM.
You were still telling low-level technocrats, and you came to the conclusion that you were not taking them seriously as far as their conditions of service and even the services they are rendering to the nation is concerned. So, UTAG ought to have shown, and they did so, that they were not joking around. They decided to embark on the strike. You would think that by now, no, the DA agree. Mampenina Nkasa, and as a big chile, would have directly extended an invitation to UTAG to engage them directly. Rather, what government did through the National Labour Commission, who said now it has become an appendage, an arm of the executive, was to quickly run to court. At the same time, almost say UTAG entrance in now court to try and initiate legal processes to compel UTAG to go back to the same class. And I said, Professor Jumpo Kano. How can you compel a teacher to teach? Now, who compel us on what round us on Canadian swear? And that's all corners of come up of swear. So you see, government ought to be blamed. It's a colossal display of incompetent leadership. Look, I can tell you, I've served the president before. When we were in government, anytime labor issues came to a crisis point, His Excellency John Dramani Mahama engaged them directly or caused his vice to engage them directly. I have had the opportunity to sit in such meetings as a note taker, and matters were resolved. They have been on strike. Students are suffering. Women throw exams. Women throw thesis, need dissertations. And yet, if you look at the attitude of government, it is nothing to write home about. And the DAB, it requires the intervention of the president directly. Of it means Akasa. Now, one may have for assurances that they can believe him and to hold him to it.
Okay.
Barring that, UTAG, me a former member, and I'm on a lot of platforms. You can send all of them to jail. They are prepared to go to jail.
Okay.
Because they have lost faith and trust in the processes so far.
Okay.
The only person who can renew their faith and their trust. So make me a say, or conditions of service, no. The bit in a sutum. Now I didn't share too. I took one. The bit near resolve matters, no. Would only be the president and none other.
Okay. Medas Yanopay.
Okay.
Mesmeda say Honorable Dr. Clement Apark, MP for Booster South. And I know Atwiche and Communoke 101.7 Swindy.
Okay, FM. Okay. 101.7.